Let's talk about Trump shitting on his haters first, and then we'll get to the Department of Homeland Security.
Millions of Americans took to the streets to protest the current administration and its policies. This was President Trump's response. The AI-generated video features President Trump in a crown, flying a fighter jet emblazoned with King Trump on its side. The president then appears to dump raw sewage on protesters. This new wave of No Kings rallies, as they're called, boasted.
Caitlyn Bennett, the girl who shit herself in college, the gun girl who shit herself in college, says, I went to a No Kings rally, and none of them could explain to me why Trump is a king. And I had this thought, like, Republican media does everything in their power for they do everything they can to claim that Donald Trump isn't a king or doesn't have monarchy aspirations. And then he'll fucking post a video of him flying around in a fighter jet that says King Trump. And then the White House will post a picture of JD Vance and Donald Trump wearing fucking crowns saying like these guys are our kings. And Republican media is like, actually, he doesn't want to be a king. Are you fucking stupid? Like, no, Dippy, you're fucking stupid for believing this slop.
Nearly 7 million attendees across 50 states. With us now, Republican strategist Doug Heye and former press secretary to then Vice President Joe Biden, Kendra Barkoff. Kendra, let me just start with you. What do you think these protests showed this weekend?
Well, they showed that people are unhappy with Donald Trump's policies. You had more than 7 million people coming out in 50 states across the country. They are angry. People voted Donald Trump to lower gas prices, to lower grocery prices, and that is clearly not happening. And on top of that, I would just say that video that he created, I'm sorry, that is something that 10-year-old boys may get.
You mean to tell me that Donald Trump lied? Yeah, no shit, lady. This guy's lied his entire fucking life. I also don't think that the majority of these protesters are Trump voters. I'm sure there are a lot of, or a decent amount of Republicans attending these rallies, but no, this is an explicitly fuck Donald Trump rally. Do not get it twisted. The majority of these individuals are not voting for Donald Trump and have not voted for Donald Trump. But yeah, people are fucking mad that this deranged lunatic is sitting in the White House, violating our civil liberties, attempting to strip away our rights, and on top of it is making everything more expensive and just ultimately degrading our society at a faster rate. Yes, people are pissed off about that, as they should be.
A good chuckle at, but the reality is, if this Republican Party, led by Donald Trump, continues to not take these people seriously.
Dude, AI is so fucking bad. Like, how do people love this shit? The mask isn't even covering his fucking nose, dude. It's, oh my god, like, it's so bad. I hate it. Oh my god, I'm not lying. If I were president, I would ban AI. I hate it. I fucking despise it. Maybe I'm a Luddite. That could possibly be true. Or maybe it's that I'm fucking pissed off that every time I open a Microsoft app, it is jamming Copilot down my fucking throat. Leave me alone, man. I don't want Copilot. I don't want Google Gemini. I don't want Grok. I don't want any of it. I want AI to be fucking gone. But no, instead we have the goddamn president of the United States tweeting out shitty AI images of him taking a dump on Harry Sisson. How the fuck did Harry Sisson get roped into this? It doesn't it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Unless this was courtesy of JD Vance because they got into a little Twitter thing. But I don't recall. I can't line up the timeline of this. I don't know if the Twitter beef was before that. I think it was. So maybe JD Vance was like, Mr. President, can you take a dump on Harry Sisson, please? Because he bullied me on Twitter, and now my feelings are hurt. I really I do give a fuck about this stuff, but ultimately not, because I know that Donald Trump fucking despises me. Like, not me personally. He has no fucking idea I exist. But he knows that people like me exist, and he fucking despises them. I'll be worried when he starts posting videos about shooting Harry Sasson and Dean Withers and fucking Sam Cedar. But till then, yeah, it's cringe. It's mostly just cringe and stupid. I mean, this guy's 78 years old. He definitely should not be carrying himself like this. But I do think that we're at a time where people are just increasingly immature. For whatever reason, motherfuckers do not want to act grown up. I don't know what it is. I don't know how we got here, but it's like that one person posted on either Twitter or Instagram. It's like, everybody's 12. And I really resonate with that because, yeah, a lot of motherfuckers behave like they're 12 years old.
Republican Party, led by Donald Trump, continues to not take these people seriously. Great. Let's keep it up because that is great news for Democrats the upcoming election.
This is what President Trump had to say beyond the AI video. Listen.
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical.
Oh, George Soros is back.
It looks like it was.
Dude, I haven't heard that name in fucking months. George Soros is back like Jordan in 9-4, baby. Or I guess Jordan in 9-5 because he came back in 94 and fucking sucked. He's back like Jordan in 9-5, baby. Oh my God. Welcome back, the Elon Musk of the Democratic Party, George Soros.
Get it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Why is his hair the same color as the interior of Air Force One? Do you guys see this? How does this happen? Is it the lighting? Can't be the lighting. It's a fucking press scrum. I don't think they have studio lighting. And it's also a fucking airplane. And his skin is almost the same color as this. How do we get here? I would like for you to remodel the interior of Air Force One and make it the same color as my hair, and then we're going to make all of the chairs and the tables and maybe even the window trim the same color as my skin.
Francisco. By the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king.
So Doug, you called them very small, very ineffective. I will note, I mean, we're just a few weeks before elections across the country here. I assume there is a risk to overstating the importance of these, but how much of a risk is there to understating the importance if you're Republicans?
Well, it certainly can tell us maybe something about Democratic intensity. But as you mentioned, we're just a few weeks away from elections in Virginia and New Jersey. And so as I saw rallies in Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and New York, big crowds at those. But ultimately, I would rather on one of the last Saturdays before the election have those people knocking on doors and making phone calls and actually trying to affect elective change if I'm a Democrat.
I know this guy's a Republican strategist because he's a fucking idiot. He said, we've seen all these massive crowds in Washington, D.C. and New York and Philadelphia, but you know what these people need to do? They need to go to New Jersey and Philadelphia and knock on doors. Are you fucking stupid, man? I'm overqualified to be a Republican strategist. Riddle me piss, Batman. Why are people who don't live in New Jersey and Virginia going to go to New Jersey or Virginia to canvass for a fucking person that has no bearing on their quality of life?
Than waving signs and whatever else. It seems to me to be a missed opportunity here. And don't get me
on screen, we have video from DC, LA, Memphis, Philly, Atlanta, Chicago, San Francisco, and New York. And this guy's like, why don't they all go to South Dakota and go canvass for a representative? Like, holy shit, pal.
Wrong, John. What is more fun? It's a great little Saturday to dress up like Kermit the Frog and, wave posters of J.D. Vance with a bald head for some reason. That's a great Saturday. What it doesn't do is it doesn't help Mikey Sherrill win in New Jersey. It doesn't help Abigail Spanberger win in Virginia. I would think that that would be the Democrats' priority. And you can do this in a politically smart way. And it's why I think that the organizers here aren't campaign people. You do this rally after the elections, because if the Democrats win these 2 elections, then you can demonstrate real momentum, regardless of, yes, as I would agree with Donald Trump, maybe not with all of his imagery, that some of these people aren't exactly representative of real American voters.
Organizers say more than...
Bro, they're doing a fuck Donald Trump rally. It doesn't matter when it happens. It's a fuck Donald Trump rally. It's not a fuck Jack Citarella rally. I think that's who's the Republican nominee in the New Jersey in the New Jersey governor's race. They're like, oh my god. And CNN brings on these brain dead Barrys, and like no one even fucking says anything to them. Well, that one got cut off, so I don't know if if anyone had a rebuttal to him. But that guy is like, he's just fucking cooked. I can see why he's doing TV and is no longer a Republican strategist.
7 million people showed up at these 2,700 rallies to protest President Trump's policies, his agenda. So, how much does this potentially energize Democrats or other opponents of Trump's agenda, especially ahead of the New Jersey, New York, Virginia races? Might there be an impact?
Yeah, well, look, I think, there are 2 big problems Democrats had in 24. And I think the massive turnout at the No Kings rally suggests that one of those problems is on its way to being solved. And the other one, we're going to have to wait and see. The problem that's on its way to being solved, I mean, in 24, Democrats drooped in white-collar, well-educated suburbs that had really provided the core of the opposition to Trump in the 2018 and 2020 election. If you look at the 40 seats the Democrats won in the House in 2018, in 30 of them, there were more college graduates than ever, than average. And in 2020, Biden ran up historic margins in all of these kind of white-collar suburbs. That's the kind of voter I think predominantly you saw come out yesterday. And I think the massive turnout is a sign that those voters are very alarmed by what they are watching from this second Trump administration. And they probably are going to turn out in big numbers. And we'll be watching in places like Fairfax County, Virginia, and Bergen County, New Jersey in November to see whether that's on track. And all signs are that it is. The other problem...
I rolled my eyes at this initially, and I shouldn't have, because I do believe that he's correct. There is definitely discontent among the voting bloc that switched from Biden in 2020 to Trump in 2024. I mean, Bernie Sanders has gone across the fucking country hosting sold out shows, explicitly talking to that group of people. So yes, there is definitely some resentment from that group. But yeah, the problem for the Democrats is that they fucking suck, man. They fucking suck. These people are not protesting because of the Democrats. They are protesting against Donald Trump and the Democrats' ineffectiveness as a political party to speak to working class people in a manner that will and deliver on a policy agenda that will materially benefit their lives is why Donald Trump is fucking here in the first place. The Democrats are watching a house burn down and are not calling the fucking fire department.
The problem Democrats had in 24 was that their vote declined in a lot of heavily minority working class areas in inner cities. And that is probably less affected by the kind of issues that are motivating the marchers on the No Kings rally. I mean, these are voters who are really struggling to keep their head above water economically. So we're going to see in a place like Passaic, New Jersey, whether those voters are returning to Democrats. But I do think, no doubt, the No Kings rally showed there's a lot of energy in these white-collar suburbs, and you're probably going to see margins that look more like 18 and 20 than 21 and 24 in those places.
All fast.
The midterms are going to be really interesting. Whenever I do talk about the 2026 elections with people, I'll tell them that I am confident in the Democrats being able to gain a bunch of seats in the House. But there is a massive caveat to that. The Democrats have the potential to slaughter the Republicans in 2026, but only if the correct candidates run. And I'm talking about candidates who have I'm talking about progressive candidates. I'm not going to beat around the fucking bush anymore. Progressive candidates, people like Graham Plattner, like AOC, like Rashida Tlaib, like Zohran Mamdani, will be able to beat Republicans in midterm elections in 2026 because they are performing extraordinarily well in their own respective races.